you all welcome back. Today is 18th of March 2026. Let's dive in. Tinubu attacked Peter Obi as David Umahi faces U.S. court case. What really happens? So in this video, you are going to watch it and you are going to see everything the way everything is going, and the main reason why the Tinubu government, they always attack Peter Obi by every means. They are always attacking. Whatever he do, they used to find it very, very annoying, because they see that Peter Obi is the only obstacle they have on their way. In fact, because in this video, Peter Obi really talked a lot of things concerning what Nigeria is facing, the problem of Nigeria, both inside and outside of Nigeria, and why Nigeria is not working. In fact, just listen and they don't skip any part of it, because he really talked a lot of things about it. And also the case of Dave Umahi. You know, Dave Umahi, it has been a while. This issue of him and the people he collected money, land, and those people that he wanted to have intimate with. So now all of them now is now on his head. They have now taken his case now to Washington, D.C. In fact, in this video, is going to explain a lot of things that is happening in Nigeria, for you to see that time have come when those of our government officials will start to speak, or will start to say the truth, because we don't know the main reason of having them in office. Once they are in office, they will use their office to oppress people. They will use their office to deal with people because of their in power. And they will now forget that they are not God. That one day they will leave power and now face the people they are oppressing. In fact, in this video, you will see and you watch it by yourself. It is not about a rumor. It's not about how it is, how does it happen. So, as you're about to watch it, like, subscribe, and make sure you share it. Let others see the things that is going on in the country.
The problem in Africa is our electoral system. People manipulate the elections to be there by all means. If we are doing proper elections, and if you are not doing well, people will vote you out. We may not even ask these questions. Because those who are not doing well, the population will vote them out. But in this case, people use government instruments to perpetuate themselves in power, even when the people don't want them. We need to really have a constant discussion on democracy in Africa. If we don't, well, Bishop Puka said that democracy don't die, but if we don't, the level of decline will get to a point that probably democracy will go into extinction. Thank you all.
You have a situation today where people are owing salary for 7 months and they're celebrating their birthday. How can you say a thing like that? How can you be celebrating when you've ruined people's life? People are dying and you're celebrating, and people are watching it in TV. It's a crisis. And the only people that can stop that crisis is you. They can't stop it. Telling people in lunch that when I found it amazing that even people in America are part of the problem. As governor, I come here, you know what people tell me? This man bought this house, this man bought this house. Where are you going to buy your own? Why will I buy a house in America? I don't live in America. I have nothing to do with America. It only cost me $200 to come here and go. Why will I buy a house? Americans should live in America. I'm a Nigerian. I live in Onitsha. That is where I should live. I go to South Africa. I go to everywhere. I say, buy a house in South Africa. How many South Africans have bought a house in Nigeria? How many Americans have bought a house in Nigeria? So why would Nigerians come here? You live here. Yes, you can own a house here. But not people. I come here as governor, and Nigerians will tell you, oh, let's bring somebody and have a party. Why would I leave Nigeria to come and do party here? No way. I should come here as a beggar for you to give me something to take home, not to come and celebrate here. I have people who need food in the country. And Nigerians are celebrating here. And you go there and be calling them His Excellency, when you should push them to go back and do their work at home. So start telling them, if your governor comes here or local government chairman, do not be part of celebrating him. Tell him to go home and fix what he's supposed to do. Don't encourage him to waste the resources. He didn't come with his money. He came with your money. We're asking you to bring back your own. What we need to do is to manage that which is there effectively. Your country, to tell you how bad your country has gone. In 1980, Nigeria as a country had a foreign reserve of $10.5 billion. 10.5. China is 10. South Korea that somebody mentioned here is 3 billion. The country was far bigger than South Korea. It had more money than China. China had a population of, today, China population is 1,317,000,000. Nigeria is only 186 million. But what is happening today? China has in savings 3 trillion and we have 30. We had 10. They had 10. We had 10.5. They had 10. Today they had 3 trillion. We have 30. 1% of what they used to have. Today South Korea savings is 400 and something billion and we have 30. What went wrong here? And I can show you nations on nations. We're in a state of Florida. This state has a GDP of $793 billion. That is twice the GDP of Nigeria. Your richest state in America is California, with a GDP of 2.6 trillion, 6 times Nigerian GDP. With a per capita of 50,000, Nigeria is 2. Can governor of California drive 5 vehicles at a time? No, I'm asking you people a question. So we need to fix it. Can governor of California use 5 vehicles at a time? No. In your place, they use 30 and call it convoy. If it's not madness, tell me what it is. Or you think madness is when somebody doesn't have a cloth? No, there's favors for madness. That's what we need to fix first. So I want you to be part of that change agent fella is saying. Let people have souls and care for their people. That is what we need in our country. We need people who can think. How did China change? What happened to China? How did they change? Even just in the year 2000, China had been able to build from year 2000 to year 2000, to move from, go and check their GDP in the year 2000 was just 1 trillion. Today it's 12. Why is our own still 400? Why are we not investing in the right thing? Today everybody knows, everybody is investing in education and all that. We're not investing. 60% of the people, children out of school live in sub-Saharan Africa. 10 million live in Nigeria. Yes. You can go and check your records. I saw somebody the other day. A particular state in Nigeria, Zamfara. Let me just call it. In the last year, NECO had only 110 students. Only 24 passed. A state of 5 million people.
They are all commissioners now.
24. When another state has almost 200,000 for the same exam, it won't work. It's Nigeria. Every part of Nigeria is important to us. People ask me now while we're eating lunch, what is the problem? I said the problem is the people. So only in Nigeria that you elect people. They don't have car, they don't have anything. 6 months, they build a house, buy 20 cars, and call it for Thanksgiving, and people will go there. And And they will be praying in the church, telling God to bless them. And the bishop will preach in that wherever they got the money, he should give them more when they have to call police. Because they know where the money came from. Everybody knows where the money came from. But they are still celebrating it. He comes to America and buy a house, and they said if you see his house, and it's in choice areas. When he's in Washington, they tell you this place, this man owns the house here. In New York, this man owns the house here. With whose money? Let him show you his business. His daytime job that earn that money, in which is if Shobanjo, who is doing of advertisement, wants to buy a house in the best area of the world, let him go and buy it. But for God's sake, why would Peter Obi come and buy the choice area in Washington when he didn't own it before? A governor built a house that is unbelievable, and they asked, he said, I used to have the money. Why didn't you build it before? Hey, wait a minute. What are you telling us? And you're owing us salary. Even if you had the money before, you would have kept quiet. The rascality must stop. That's what we need to do first. Let's deal with this rascality first. It's when we stop this rascality that we can now. There's opportunities in Nigeria, my dear people. People are protesting in Iran. They're not protesting in Nigeria. But people don't know that the protests will come. If Iranians can protest, Iran has a GDP of 400 billion. With 79 million people, their per capita is 6,050 naira, $50. And they're protesting. Nigeria per capita is 2,000. So the person with 6,000 is protesting. We're not. Iran generates 74,000 megawatts of electricity. We generate 4. And they're protesting. Iran has the unemployment of 11% and youth unemployment of 25%. We have unemployment of 19.8 and youth unemployment of 61%. So those youths will protest one day. Those of us who happen to be lucky to live in Ikoyi and Victoria Land, I say to them every day, if we don't look for food for those who live in Ajegunle, one day we will not be living. Nigeria has become a case of where lunatics took over the asylum. And we don't know what lunatics do when you want to take anything back from them. They create a thing as if there's a war. So you run away. If a madman comes there, you say, hey, everybody say, I don't want to touch this madman. That's what they're doing. We need to take it back. We need to become as mad as they are and take it back.
Oh yes. That is it. That is the main reason why other political parties like Tinubu, they are afraid of him, because he always speak the truth and he always tell them the problem Nigeria is facing. That is why they don't want to see him. They don't want to see him to breathe, because wherever he goes, he must make sure that he hits the nail on the nail, so that let everybody understand the pain and the suffering of Nigeria everywhere. Not the kind of people that will come, they will be painting everything as if they are working, not knowing that they are not even doing anything. That is the main problem they're having with him, because he's a man that stand upright, a man that say the way it is, and the man that give you direction on how to do something, let it work for everyone. Then it comes to Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. He has already said it. Nigeria, Africa, the way they are practicing politics in Africa, mostly in Nigeria, they claim that we are practicing democracy. That is not a democracy. You come in, you make people to be afraid of you, you take power by all means, and you claim they vote you in without nobody voting you in. As far as such kind of a thing is something that in nearby future, it will cause a big problem within Africa and within the world, because this is the instrument the African leaders use to cage their own people. Well, I would like you to watch the issue concerning Dave Umahi and the people he has already maltreat, collect their land, and they do a lot of things with. Make sure you watch it. It's just a little video. Try to watch to the end for you to understand the type of country we are living.
Hello, I am Dr. Kimberly Stark. I'm here in Washington, D.C. at the prestigious Capitol looking for justice in our judicial system here in the United States of America against the equality that is happening in Lagos, Nigeria regarding our foreign direct investment. David Umahi, we had to report you because you are refusing to settle this in a timely manner. So we went to our U.S. government here and in hopes of a turnaround and a change. Thank you.
My name is Father Joe, and we're here at the U.S. Capitol, the capital of the world, to bring the Win Home matter to the world to help us, because it looks like locally the Nigerian government is not trying to do the right thing, especially Engineer David Umahi. We are not here to demarcate Nigeria, but we're here to bring Nigeria to its stool so that justice can be served, justice can be done, and every Nigerian in diaspora who have invested back in Nigeria can see their returns. Thank you.
Come rain, come sunshine, and even snow, we don't care. Engineer David Umahi, you did something illegal. You have to own up to it, and you must compensate the affected victim. We don't know the people that you are gathering around, playing politics with people's money, people's sweat, people that work 9 to 5 here to make their money and to create a habitable environment. Foreigners that believes in Nigeria, that came to build hospital in Nigeria, and you are playing politics with their money. Whether you like it or not, we have escalated this matter to Capitol, and we have had a productive meeting with our senators, and we are assuring you that this will be escalated no matter what. Wherever you need it, you people allegedly collected bribe, diverted it. I know that this came from my tribe people, and I have evidence. I will start making videos to expose everything that happened there. This is the formal complaint that we have filed. The document presents a formal complaint regarding the deviation from the published alignment of Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road, resulting in unauthorized demolition of property belonging to Win Home Global Services Limited and affecting infrastructures representing approximately 250 million foreign direct investment. The complaint raises concern about alleged corruption, abuse of power, and disregard for legal documents, court order, and by official of Federal Ministry of Works. To the President of Nigeria, the father of the nation, I remember the time Vice President Osibanjo came to Texas and told us to come back to invest in Nigeria. That was when this dream was nurtured, and we actualized it. We were happy. That was why we did all our documentation. Till today, David Umahi has not come out to say that Win Homes does not have proper documentation. So we are appealing to the President of Nigeria to intervene on this matter, because this is not what we want to do, but we are pushed to escalate it to the U.S. Capitol through the office of our senators. And to the glory of God, that they listened and they were shocked when they saw a sitting minister predicting a ruling 2 months before the ruling came out. Engineer David Umahi and the Ministry of Work is demarketing Nigeria all over. David Umahi came out on a national television and carried a propaganda that he has revoked all the property. This is unfair to hardworking Nigerians outside the country, all over the world.
Nigeria's Minister of Works reported to US Congress. In a moment, I'll play you a video, and the video was made by one of the women that you just watched in that video. That video will expose you to what transpired between the people you watched in the first video and Engineer Dave Umahi. You will hear the narration of that particular woman of how their lands and assets were allegedly destroyed in Nigeria under Win Homes Global Services Limited, and according to the woman, it is worth $250 million US. We'll watch the video. Then when we come back, we'll be looking at the personality of Engineer Dave Umahi after the Tracy saga, after the one of the 5 engineers that were missing. Now it is these people in that particular video that have reported him to the US Congress. Can the US Congress be able to help these particular people? What is the implication of this scandal on the reputation and the political career of the Minister of Works, Engineer Dave Umahi? We'll be dissecting all this and a whole lot more when we come back from watching this video. Let's watch this video, then we come back for some great discussion. Let's watch it.
There is another video where Engineer David Umahi said, and I quote, "You can quote me. I said they should go and acquire the remaining land." Now me talking.
Before I didn't want to, take the woman's remaining land. But when she started making to put me, I don't know. I said they should go and acquire the land. And not be any other person.
That is now Engineer Umahi talking. That sentence alone is very heavy. What it means in simple English is that it was his decision. I gave the order. I am the one. So let nobody deceive anybody. This is not an instruction that dropped from the president. This was not something the president personally planned on his own. This was a presentation made by the minister. It was his report, his recommendation, his framing of the matter that went to the president. And based on what he presented, approval was given to him, unfortunately. But if there is justice, if there is abuse, if there is wrongdoing, it started from the information the minister carried to the president. Now, let me tell you my own story. I stayed in Nigeria for 1 full year. The longest I've ever stayed since I came to America. I was not hiding. I was on ground. I saw things with my own eyes. I saw how people around Coastal Road were bribing. I saw favors were being exchanged. I saw how the federal controller of works and her assistants were being approached. I saw how messages were being sent upwards to the minister. This was not rumor. This was the system. Then, one day, they told us something that shocked me. They said we should bring 200 million, that we should convert it to dollars, that we should bring it to their office in Lagos State. One of them, Engineer Dare, said in clear words, "I will take you to my madam, and my madam will meet the minister on your behalf." When I heard that, my heart sank. So government business now needs middlemen. Justice needs money. Law now needs personal connection. That was when I started looking for the minister's direct number, because I said to myself, let me go straight to the minister. I did not know that looking for justice would lead me into the worst experience of my life. When I finally spoke to him, he told me, "Come and meet me at a hotel." Not an office, not a ministry, not a public place of governance, a hotel. That was when fear entered my body, because I went for land matter, I went for investment matter, I went for justice, not for private meeting. And now we hear him on video saying, "You can quote me. I ordered the acquisition." Na me talk am.
Before I didn't want to, take the woman's remaining land. But when she started making to put me, I don't know. I said they should go and acquire the land. And not be any other person.
Mr. President, with all respect, this means that the story you heard from him, the picture you saw, was painted by him. The decision you approved was shaped by Engineer David Umahi. That is why this is painful. That is why this is dangerous. That is why it is emotional. Because power was not used to protect citizens. It was used to control them. Money was not demanded openly. It was hidden inside connections and introduction. And a professional matter was turned into a personal one. This is why Nigerians are angry. This is why the investors are afraid. This is why women feel unsafe. Because when a minister can say, "Na me talk am," then we must also say, "Na you go explain am." Explain why justice needed money. Explain why people were to bring 200 million in dollars in cash. Explain why business meetings moved to hotels. Explain why power became personal. Mr. President, this should make you angry. Not because of politics, but because your office was used to carry out something that was now a wounded trust. This is not just about land. This is about integrity. This is about leadership. This is about Nigerians' image.
There you have it, one of the diaspora investors narrating what transpired between them and Engineer Dave Umahi. In all of this, one thing comes to mind, which is Engineer Dave Umahi. With profound respect, sir, why always you? Are you the only public minister? Are you the only public official that we have in Nigeria? Are you the only one in the cabinet? Why always you? Why is there scandal back to back? Why is there repeated scandal? We just ended the saga of you and Tracy Oiri, and it was revealed by Omoyele Sowore that everything was eventually settled between you and the woman with 110 million naira. Then we also have that of the 5 Nuland engineers. Those engineers are still missing. In the midst of the Tracy saga, I remembered an old man came out that Engineer Dave Umahi is also owing him 7 million naira or thereabout for a job that he did for him years ago. So the big question is, with profound respect, Minister of Works, why always you? Don't you know how to manage yourself? Don't you know how to manage your image before the public? Don't you know how to manage your relation with people in such a way that you don't embarrass yourself? Now, your matter don't come up for Nigeria now. You don't enter the table of the United States. And you know that anything that the United States is involved in, particularly this government of Donald Trump, definitely a lot of things can eventually happen to you when the United States government will decide to roar against the Nigerian government. Then you would find either their money or their land back to them. But I will come back to that in a moment. But I'm concerned about Umahi and his interpersonal relations. Because why? Let us look at it from the political angle. If you look at it now, if we are talking about Igbo presidency, particularly from the APC, right? Let us leave Obi aside. Obi is not a member of the APC. Now, APC is the ruling party. Imagine APC now decides that, okay, let us go for Igbo presidency. Maybe in 2027, but I know that won't happen because of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In 2031, power will go back to the north. But maybe in 2039 or thereabout, if the APC now decide, oh, let us go for Igbo presidency, one of the people that is strategic that can get that ticket is Dave Umahi. And another person is Hope Uzodinma. These are strong APC guys. Hope Uzodinma is the current chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum. So he's one of the powerful stakeholders in APC. So you have such a presidential prospect, bright one for that matter, within your party. Why would you now want to be engaging in different scandal? From the Tracy scandal to the 5 engineers to that of these people, Nigerians in the diaspora. Definitely, these people don't have anything to lose. Tracy doesn't have anything to lose. You are the one that have a lot to lose because you are a public official and you have a political career. We don't say politics for Nigeria, na career. So most Nigerian politicians, they treat politics as a career. So you have a political career to protect. Why would you, for the sake of God, be involved in different scandals back to back? And at the end of the day, you can only be the president with all these scandals. You can only be the president of a country like Nigeria. Because if Nigeria were to be a sane country, the slightest of scandal can make you to lose your political ambition. The slightest of scandal can make you to lose the ticket or the confidence of your party. But we all know in Nigeria, anything goes. We have a lot of people with scandals, with so much scandals attached to their name. And at the end of the day, they eventually emerge as the president of Nigeria. So in Nigeria, anything can happen. Now, these people, they are looking for justice in the United States for what can be resolved in Nigeria. That points to one thing, my dear people. What that points to is the lack of trust in the Nigerian judiciary. It shows that Nigerian judiciary are weak and the Nigerian leaders operate with impunity. It's from two sides. Let me explain the first one. The Nigerian judiciary is weak because ordinarily this particular issue should not involve the United States at all. People should be able to go to court, tender evidence before the court, and the court should be able to adjudicate on the matter without any influence of anybody whatsoever, and judgment should be given fair and square. That is on one side. Since that is not done and they rush to the US Congress, it shows a lack of confidence, a distrust in the Nigerian judiciary, and that itself is something to be concerned about. Because what if they are not American citizens? What if they are just Nigerians? They don't have the citizenship of another country. Then what would have been their fate? Another thing is that the second side is that of the Nigerian politicians. Eventually, if they even go to court, if the judge gives judgment in their favor, definitely that judgment would amount to nothing, because Nigerian politicians will do what they will not obey. So this action of these Nigerians, it shows distrust in the Nigerian judiciary, and it also shows that Nigerian politicians rule with impunity, and that is why Nigerians are afraid of investing in their fatherland, Nigeria. And that's why you see that even foreign companies, if they want to come and invest in Nigeria, they will use another country as the country of arbitration. That is that if anything happens between they and the Nigerian government, then it is only the French court, if they pick France as the country of arbitration, or the Canadian court, if Canada is the country of arbitration, or the court of any other country, particularly Western countries that have strong judicial system, they will pick that country as the country of arbitration. Why? Because of the weakness and the impunity of the Nigerian justice system and the Nigerian ruling class. But in all of this, the big question is, can the US help them? Apparently, yes. If what has been happening between Nigeria and the United States is anything to go by, if the US government begins to pressure the Nigerian government, I see that some help or succumb can come their way. But can they recover everything that they've lost? That one, I doubt. It's been an interesting time with you on this episode of Politics with Joshua Blog, Dr. Ogmoshola. Subscribe, turn on your notification button, catch up with my past videos. See you in my next video. I love you all.
Oh yes, that is it. Every report and everything that is happening, everyone is seeing how everything is going. It is only in Nigeria you will belong, or you will be. If you do not belong to any political party, to any party, mostly the ruling party, know that anything you are doing will never favor you, unless you have a godfather, unless you belong to the ruling party, which is the APC, as it stands as for now. Coming down to the issue of the market in Nigeria, nobody is the market in Nigeria apart from the government. The governments make everything to be the market in everywhere, in every country. Coming down to the country we are living, so corrupt, everything, they will turn it upside down. The judicial system we are having that the layman need to embrace or need to have hope on, they make it that in a way that you cannot trust any judicial system in Nigeria, to the extent that it is only the foreign judicial system that you can trust. Because the way it is happening in Nigeria, if you go to court, mostly you go to court with a political person, they will tell you that before you will get there, they will call the judge, and they will call the judge and they tell him what he will say or what he will tell you. So meaning that as in Nigeria, the judicial system of Nigeria is a wasting of time. And that is why you see the political leaders, they can do anything they want to do without you talking anything. Because if you speak, they will use the same judicial system to pin you down and to say you are against them. Then, in fact, a lot is happening. A lot is happening. It's only God that will help. I'm going to Washington, D.C. for help. We believe and we hope that the American, they will help them, because their way of judicial system and the way of their ruling is different from Nigeria. And we believe that David Umahi, the way they used to do things, they do things as if they are God. They don't used to believe that one day they are going to leave this earth. They don't believe that, because they believe that they are God. They can do whatever they want to do without anybody talking to them. If you speak, they will be looking you as a ghost. So in their mind, they are God. They cannot die, and whatever they want to do, they can do without anybody interfering with them. That is how it is. And if you say we are in democracy, or we are practicing democracy in Nigeria, I don't see how people will be talking how they are feeling, what that you are doing to them that is not okay. Instead of you to listen to them, instead of it, you will start threatening them with DSS, with police, with other things. And all those security men that you used to threaten people, those security men, they used to suffer for it, because at the end, the people that need to protect you, they now use you to threaten them. Then when it is now time for them to stand for you, who will be the person that will stand for you? Nobody. That is why you see both the security men, both the judiciary, both all of them, That is why Nigeria is too corrupt, that you cannot even find any sector in the country that is not so corrupt to the extent that you cannot even trust anybody. That is how it is. Well, I would like to recommend that what do you think about the whole thing going on in the country. Like, subscribe, and make sure you share it. Let those see and understand what is happening. So thank you for watching.